Just wrapped our final performance of the summer with the Central Springs High School bands here in Manly, Iowa. It's a beautiful Memorial Day out there, and before summer takes off and gets crazy, I thought I'd put together a little video here for you guys showing you another one of my favorite cymbal configurations. You know me, I'm kind of a cymbal nut, and these particular cymbals are ones that I love to use, especially in a school setting with a school band, like high school jazz band or middle school jazz band maybe. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, here we are behind the drum set. Not my typical format because we're shooting from the hip today. We're here at the school, and I'm holding my phone right now as opposed to using an actual, dedicated camera setup or mics. So if the audio is a little weird, it's because you're hearing me through the phone. But nonetheless, we proceed onward. Right here are my go-to hats for teaching in schools. And I would use these myself on a gig for just about anything. These are obviously Zildjian 13-inch new beats. Nothing fancy, but by George, these things are workhorses. New beats are the most recorded hi-hats in cymbal history. 14s are probably the most common, but I love 13s. And if you've seen some of my other videos, you know that I play 13s in my jazz setups, my personal setups, although those are not new beats. Those are a different model of Zildjian cymbal. But the new beats are great, and there's two reasons why I love new beats. You ready for them? Reason number one, Harold Jones. Reason number two, Butch Miles. I'm kind of joking, but also kind of not. Both of those guys are legendary, iconic drummers that, again, ironically, both played with the Count Basie Orchestra, but have gone on to play with many other small groups and various artists, mostly in jazz. But they both swear by 13-inch new beats because of their unmatched versatility and clarity. 13-inch hi-hats, I've talked about this a little bit before, have an unrivaled foot chick sound. Because of their smaller diameter, they move faster, therefore giving them a little bit, a faster sound and just an incredibly crisp, cutting foot sound, which is really, really important when you're playing in a big band especially. These are, this is kind of my big band cymbal setup here at the high school. So they have a great foot sound, they have a great tight stick sound. Whether you're playing a rock or if you're playing swing, or if you're playing more of a two feel. Normally I use my other hand for this, but again, I'm holding the phone, so we're just gonna do it with the foot today. Very, very versatile, right? 13-inch new beats. These are circa 2011, as you can tell, because we don't have the new logo on there from the redesign that they did in 2013. 13-inch new beats. If you're a teacher, definitely get these for your drum set at school. Moving on to my left side cymbal. This is an 18-inch K crash ride, and you can see this one's seen some action, but that's because this thing rocks, and it swings, and it does everything, right? But again, these are primarily used in my jazz band. This cymbal, as the name implies, works very well as a left side light ride. Good clarity, good nice dark wash, great stick sound as you heard there. Also, has a very nice crash, full-bodied, but it gets out of the way quickly. Ready? Let's do another one there. Yeah. 18-inch K crash ride. A very, very well-rounded musical instrument. You can use it as a ride, you can use it as a crash. It's all in the name, baby, and it's got a nice dark sound, courtesy of the K cymbal lathing and characteristics. Moving over here to the right, we have, I love this guy right here. This is a beautiful cymbal for starters. It's a 20-inch K-Custom left side ride. You know what? I'm using it on my right. I don't even care if it's in the name. I'm kidding. This is a great, great primary ride cymbal for jazz, be it big band or small group. It's fully unlathed. It's heavily, heavily hammered. It has a very dark, dry sound, but it's also augmented by these 3 rivets that come standard with the cymbal. The great drummer Peter Erskine designed this, and a lot of thought and care went into the design of this cymbal. So let me play it for you. So as you can hear, lots of stick sound, lots of clarity, a dark wash, fairly dry. This is a very user-friendly ride cymbal, especially if you're, again, working in a school where you have young drummers that haven't played a lot of cymbals that are maybe more lively or thinner or more complex. This is one they can get behind and play very nicely, pretty quickly. And it has a great sound for jazz. It's clear, it cuts through, but it doesn't overpower. It's got a great bell. Not overpowering, but enough to cut through if you're doing some Latin stuff or some funky stuff. You heard the bow. It also has, it kind of depends on each model, but I hand selected this one, and this one has a pretty good crash. Check it out. And obviously the rivets help with that too. It'll sustain for a while. Let me give you one more crash. And I guess I didn't really play time on it with like the hi-hats. So let me play a little time here for you. Yeah, the 20-inch K-Custom left side ride. Can't recommend it enough, especially if you're teaching at a school. And finally, over here on my right, it's upside down, but never fear, it's still an awesome cymbal. This is the 20-inch FX series Oriental China Trash, which I've had the good folks at Memphis Drum Shop install 2 rivets on to make it a little bit more like your standard swish cymbal, right? Now this is a great China cymbal. It's a 20, just like my ride here. I use kind of smaller, I guess, quote unquote, smaller cymbals at school just because they're easier to, transport around. Personally, I like, 22s for my China and my main ride. But again, to each their own. And at school, it's kind of nice to have something that's portable and has a small footprint. So this 20-inch China Trash is a fantastic cymbal. Again, the 2 guys I mentioned earlier, Butch Miles and Harold Jones, both use these regularly. And this one was actually hand-selected by Harold Jones at Memphis Drum Shop. So it's a good one. It's a great ride, China ride, right? Like a swish. I'll play it for you by itself here first. Lots of trash, but a good stick sound still. It gets under the band very nicely if you're playing, a sax solo or a big shout chorus. And of course, it also crashes very well. It's a monster crash. Here's the crash. So you got to be careful with that one. But again, if you're playing big band or any kind of jazz, I think you got to have a China on your setup. And this is a great one from Zildjian here that doesn't break the bank, doesn't take up a ton of room, but it works like a charm. The 20-inch Oriental China Trash from Zildjian's FX series. All right, well, whether you're teaching in a school like myself, or you're just looking for some new pies to use in a jazz setting, big band setting, I can't recommend these enough. Again, I'm kind of using the small group approach to big band drumming with these. These are all multi-purpose cymbals that you can use for crashes and rides all in one cymbal. And I think that kind of inspires me to play more musically and make more musical choices behind the instrument. Ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like anything that you saw here, or if anything meant anything to you at all, please hit that like button, comment below, and if you haven't already, subscribe to ColeOnDrums, because doing any of those three things, or all of them, helps tell the YouTube algorithm, hey, this is good, meaningful content. And it will then in turn push the videos out to more and more people that might benefit from seeing things like this. Until next time, guys, enjoy your summer, stay safe out there, be kind to one another, take care, goodbye.